we are going live. I'm so glad you guys are here. So
Hi.
glad these guys are here.
Hello.
It is alive on Wednesday. And while I sit and wait for Instagram to catch on that we've gone live, there we go. I will start you guys off with, well, you know what I do? What am I wearing? What am I drinking? We're going to get rid of our mini version of this. And I'm also going to put the comments up. So if you guys have anything to say immediately, I try to look after and answer comments there too, by the way. Some of the platforms we're on, let me know right away. They email me, hey, somebody commented. And some don't care and don't tell me, and I have to go hunt you down, which I try to do on a weekly basis. So let's start with the what are we drinking, what are we wearing. Today, I just have two pieces on of Tracy's Treasures. I've got this little beauty. This one, oh, pinky ring for me. So for some of you, it's a bigger size. This one, I forgot already what this one, the kunzite, that's what this one is. You can tell I'm the herbalist and not the stonist. And this is a beautiful faceted amethyst that I love. My selection is shrinking. Thank you very much. And Tracy, thanks you too. What am I drinking? I got simple today because that was in a rush. I got some burdock because the eczema on my fingertips has come back. Oh, so disappointing. A little ashwagandha because I'm going to make it through the day. It's going to be a beautiful day with my ashwagandha, and some rose hips because I deserve something sweet. So that's what we're drinking. Meanwhile, what's going on? All right, let's talk about it. I have the month of January. It's so big. I had to put it on here. So this Saturday, these guys will be here for the continuation of Alliance Coven. Have you missed a few? Yes. Do you have to start at the beginning? No. Come and join. This is a fun group to explore and investigate. These teachers, I thought, the rave reviews they got, even before they became their own group, from the folks who attended their classes, amazing. So highly recommend. Dynamic teaching team. If you're curious about lots of subjects that people who are into paganism, Wicca, witchcraft, even to a degree ceremonial magic, like to touch upon, this is your group. You guys are still like going over tarot and like various forms of divination in there. You're doing all kinds of fun things. So it's a range of topics, right?
On our Seekers class,
Yeah.
which will start next fall, we do all of the basics.
Okay.
Right now we're in our Dedicants year, which is more focused on just our coven and our tradition and how we do ritual and teaching people ritual skills.
Nice. So big event coming up. So check them out. You can always pop your head in, say hi. On the same Saturday, this coming Saturday, January 3rd, is also SU's American Hoodoo and Folk Magic class that we're very excited for. We're seeing lots of people sign up. So get online and sign up. That's a by donation class. You do not need to make the donation online. You can make it while you're here at the store, either up at the point of sale, the cash register area, or with SU directly. It's just a simple split for those teachers who do the by donation class. They get a chunk of the money to teach. We get a chunk of the money to keep the lights on. That's basically how those classes go. The next day, Sunday the 4th, we have the Gateways to the Gods. Probably doing Kelliozekatachichi, I'm not going to lie, because it's a fun herb. It has some fun effects, and we just it's a popular choice, so probably doing Kelliozekatachichi. At 3 on Sunday the 4th, we've got the Chaos Magic Workshop with Ravenwolf. That is like a stone rolling downhill. It just keeps gathering momentum, so I do recommend it. He's a great presenter. He's a good teacher. Tuesday, going forward every Tuesday after we close, is the Herbalism Series Year 1. If you want to sign up, there's still spots, and that's just going to go for about 9 months. Oh, that is the traditional kick notification that they would like us to pay them money in our comment section. Just letting these guys know. And of course, on Wednesday after we close, Herbs Year 3. Trust me, it would make your head spin if you're not already through Year 1 and Year 2. So close class. Next, the following Saturday the 10th, you guys are back again for more fun. Sunday the 11th at 10 before we open. For 1 hour, we'll have the pre-Gardnerian, intro to Gardnerian stuff class. And the Tarot Lab with Nancy Antonucci is also on the 11th. It's always the second Sunday of the month. That is a fun class. It is not a lecture style class. It's another by donation class. And it is exercises. So she introduces you to new ways of interacting with your deck and then gives you time and space to play with those ideas. Usually they cover a couple of things in each class. It's an hour and a half. It is always fun and it is always packed. So do sign up, get your spot. Again, you don't have to pay anything when you register. The donation can be done after or right before the class. We're all good with that. What else then? The 17th, Saturday the 17th. Yeah, your classes continue. I'm only doing those once. Sign up for year one if you're ready. The 17th on Saturday, they're back again. And they're at noon. And there's a container magic being taught by probably Daryl. I don't mean it might be somebody else. I mean, he's probably Daryl. Already, again, signups are coming through. So do sign up if you are interested in that. The 18th, which is the following Sunday, Reiki 1. If you're ready to start that Reiki journey with the new year, go ahead and sign up for that. Saturday the 24th, while these guys are here, and while Ravenwolf teaches his ethics in the craft at 3, we will be having a used book sale. I will be here. I'm not usually here on Saturdays. I will be here so we can open up the vaults downstairs and you guys will see most of what we've got up online. And the used books, we do not have room for up here. Hoping to get a couple of bookcases out of it so we can get a couple of bookcases up here down the hallway so that we can put more of the used books out that we don't put up online. Because I have, a bookcase of the super cheap ones, and then technically a bookcase of the $7 to $19 ones, but I can't fit any more books on that bookcase anymore. It's double stacked and things are crammed in on the top, and we got a lot of good books down there. So we're going to open it up on the 24th. We're going to start telling people about that today, so I'm very excited for that. You guys are here at noon. Ethics in the Craft is here at 3. If you are doing the Ethics in the Craft class, you will get a discount on the book, Ethics in the Craft, which is a really interesting read. I've got to say, the research this guy did is just profound. He blew out of the water claims other people had made about, the first person to write this down this way was this. No. It was lectured on 15 years earlier, and that person might have been in the audience. They just were the first one you found. He found primary sources that go back further than what most people think primary sources are. It's really fast. It's all 20th century. Do not get me wrong. I'm not saying he's claiming anything's ancient, but it's really well documented, and he's done his research. He's interviewed and corresponded with people. He's really got his stuff. You look like you've read it. The following day on Sunday the 25th, that 101 Intro to Gardnerian class at 10 before we open. And that, we're getting the user evaluation surveys in. It is so much fun. 12 o'clock, the Reiki share. So come if you got a Reiki 1, 2, or 3, and you just want to chat and trade Reiki with folks, come down. It's always fun. Who does not need an excuse to meditate? And if you already have a little Reiki under your belt, come in. It's always meditative to do Reiki. It's just fun, whether you're giving it or receiving it, frankly. And at 4, SU is teaching his Palmistry 101 class. That should be fantastic. He's a very good presenter. You'll love the information. And then the following Saturday, the 31st, the last Saturday of the month, Astrology with Adam, another class that has been starting to get these big rave reviews as people are discovering that it's not like a 101 lecture. It's more about astrology and magic and how they interact, and gets really esoteric. And yet he presents it in a way that's really understandable and something you can put into practical use. So highly recommend all of the classes. Of course, they're fabulous. And let's get on to fun stuff. So I want to show you some stuff that's been really popular, not so much for holiday shoppers, but for the people bringing in the holiday money they got, which are these beauties, a locally made set of necklaces. These are the last 3 I have that are like this because the rest have all sold. So these are local. The chains are handmade. Everything is done by the wire wrapper themselves. So I've got a rose quartz and a labradorite. And ooh, what pretty thing are you? Again, not the stones lady, the herb lady, but the one I can't quite identify. That's the one that's got the tree of life on it. It's just, they're gorgeously done. Yeah, very artistic. And I thought I would also bring in some of the new things that have just come out. And when I say new, I mean new because these are vintage jewelry pieces that were part of an estate. So this is a beautiful vintage ring. They're all high quality jewelry. Some of them are designer jewelry. So, but this is one of the rings that we had come in that we've been able to price and put out. Some of them, I'm going to be honest, we're all looking at them going, this could be one of 3 stones. We need to get some of these appraised. So we'll see what happens. This one, perfect for your average Christian witch. And you're out there. I know you're out there because it's got the little pentacle, it's got the little cross, and it's got the little moon. Sterling silver, adorable piece. And then pièce de resistance for what we could actually put out right away because we could find out exactly who made it and what it was worth is this jade piece. Ooh. Now, we sell nephrite jade tumbled stone. This is not your mama's nephrite jade. This is serious jade. It's a gorgeous piece, ready to go on a chain. I'd recommend a gold chain. I wouldn't put this on a cord. This is fancy and pretty and nice, and I would put this on a golden cord. Mm-hmm. Something that will show it off appropriately.
I got one.
Do you know? I do. It's a serious little jade piece. And I also thought I would show you some of the things that have been most popular through the year. So, most popular jewelry, Jerry's earrings, all the variety, all the choices, all adored. Got a couple racks of them upstairs, but most people buy off this rack, I gotta be honest. Another really popular piece, just because it's fun, are these little bobble critters. I happened to randomly pick a bat, and it was upstairs, so I grabbed it. I have like a medium-sized bin of these downstairs. And when we sell them, I reach in blindly and I pull up whatever I pull up. I don't look, I don't plan. So the last time I had to do that, the little bat got to come up. It's adorable.
That's what you need. You need a little dollar sign, something inexpensive, and you just stick your hand in there and you grab it.
Yes.
It's the Magus grab bag.
Magus grab bag. Grab bags were also one of the most popular things we sold, but I ran out of stuff, guys. We made 74 and we used up everything. So I hope you enjoyed. Some of the grab bags had brand new books or decks. These were things that were sent to us as review copies by the publishers, and we just wanted to share the wealth. Everybody else got a used book or a used deck. They're complete decks, and you also probably got a card from an incomplete deck that we just went, we're not going to pay you for this as a used deck, but we'll take it, and the nice cards we'll use. That's all good. It does mean that there are some scary cards, some tarot towers, I can say that word, do wind up in the trash. I'll admit it. They don't get to be, or they get used by somebody who needs some heavy duty protection. Those are usually the 2 reasons. Most popular incense burner, these guys. And I like showing these guys off because most people can't find one of the features. So these guys are built to burn sticks because there's holes on either end of this thing so that you can stick a stick in, but it's also for cones because you can see the little discs in there, so you can put a cone in there. But the feature I love that many people will own these things for a decade or more and not realize is there is the secret compartment to store the stick incense. So, most popular incense we've sold, believe it or not, outsells every flavor in wild berry, despite the price difference. This guy, the $31.05 pack of incense, the most popular incense we have. It's the most expensive pack of Fred Souls. It's the only one at this price point they have. And despite that, it is the top seller of all of our incense.
It's the only kind of incense I'll use.
Yeah.
You're one of the only people that sells it.
And we will keep selling it. We did put off ordering it when they put in their tariff surcharge, which is why it's over $30 now. Yeah. But they think the end of that tariff surcharge is in sight. So they think that the price is going to come back down, that $2 or so that each of them went up. And just if you haven't burned Fred Souls, it's the best incense on a stick. Mm-hmm. He knows it. And in fact, it's so good. It's been a writer on contracts for performing bands of his generation. I'm going to tell you now. It's like bands like ZZ Top and Aerosmith. This flavor of this Fred Souls incense must be burning on stage, or we're just not going. Just forget it. It's one of those little catch me. It's in the rider in the contract, but it's been there. He's got photos of these guys. It's just with him. It's a lot of fun. It is the best incense on a stick. So, because it's the real thing. If you're buying Wildberry, you're buying what's called a punk stick that's been dipped into perfume. That's what you're getting. So the stick is as cheap as possible. The fragrance is as cheap as possible, and the stick is cheap. If you want a little luxury and you've got $2, $2.25, you can come and get $3, 3 sticks of incense and have a really nice half a week. But if you want to kill the lily, oh, this is the real thing. This is the good stuff.
Well, that's the actual resonance, not the,
And yeah.
and that's an enormous difference
Yes,
from burning
it
the
is.
incense.
Yes. Yeah, especially from cheap perfume, basically.
It's not the same product.
No, no.
It simply isn't.
No, the only thing that I would say could potentially outshine this is if you know how to burn it well is the actual resin itself, which we carry. You can get that. You can get frankincense and myrrh and all that stuff here. But yeah, if you're going to burn stick incense, it's the one to buy. I hate to tell you, but it is. Most popular piece of jewelry besides those earrings, rose quartz necklace or bracelet. That easily, by far. And the amethyst with pentacle, which went out of manufacturing. So I'm looking for a good replacement. So, and those some of the most popular decks and books we've sold. I want to congratulate y'all if you're in the area and you're coming in person to buy these, because it tells me you pay attention to local artists and support local artists. And we love that here. I love that. So most popular deck of 2 in the most popular category for tarot decks. One I'm cleaned out of, which hopefully we'll get more in the next month or so. And that's the Rider-Waite Smith deck redone by Redwell Weiser. And I like that one because not all the people are white anymore. And it immediately, for me, brought me back to being, I was a little kid, and we must have just learned about what a census was, like in social, like 2nd or 3rd grade social studies. I know it's not past 3rd grade because we moved. That's when I came to Minnesota, was between 3rd and 4th grade, right before I started 4th grade. And I heard about the census, so I went, okay, we all know or can look up how many people are in the country, and we ask about skin color for some reason, so we know that too.
Mhm.
Why doesn't television look like real life? Now, I remember I was a little kid in South Jersey. There was no racial majority in my town or in my school, so I didn't understand why television didn't look American. And I thought at that point, I obviously need to become a network executive or a casting director. I don't see how else this is going to get fixed. Did I do that? No. But that deck looks like America, and I love that. And I love that for the artist, Pixie Smith, nicknamed Pixie, because she herself was a British person who was not entirely a white British person. Half and half. And I like to acknowledge half and half. Or so. So I love it as a celebration of her and her work and her talent. There are other decks out there that do that as well. And there are many decks that are basically really close carbon copies of that Rider-Waite Smith deck. That one's just my favorite. Radiant, I sold a Radiant Rider-Waite yesterday, and it's a lovely close carbon copy to that deck. There's tons of those out there. The other popular deck, again, value that you love the local people, is the deck by a founder, the Tarot of the Morning Star, often with the book. And this, oh, Roger, is the last copy of the book I have. Bring me more. He'll be coming for coffee tomorrow. Well, I say coffee. I don't drink coffee. He makes me leave the building once a week when he's in the country. It's a rule he has. And he takes me out for a little bevy and a little, little cake, a little biscuit. Really popular, collecting spirits. If you're into the afterlife world, this was huge. Now, we did celebrate this book with a book signing because the author's local. Again, I love that you guys love the local folks. And then my favorite book on Wicca, and it might be all my fault because it is my favorite book for intro to Wicca, is Thea Sabine's Wicca for Beginners. This is a brand new cover. You might have this book and it might look completely different. It's been out for a little while. It's my favorite intro because she is from the Twin Cities. She's from Minnesota. This reflects the training she went through in Minnesota, both eclectic and more British traditional. And she had, and still has, a master's degree in education. And in fact, the only other book I've ever seen that she's written, which I wish was still in print, was on how to teach adults like they are not 5 years old. It had a very nice name, but it was designed to help adults who want to train other adults in their path, in their magical or religious path. But this is an outstandingly good book on the basics of Wicca and what you might want to know, what you might not want to know. Is her real name Thea Sabine? No, it is not. But she's adorable, and she's no longer in Minnesota, and we all miss her very much. So if you're out there and you're watching, hello. She's actually in the same religious path Because I am, as far as I know. So, but that is what I got for you for what are we drinking, what are we wearing, what's going on, what's cool. Now let's talk about the coolest thing and the most important thing. This beautiful series that you guys are doing. Step in, say hi. Can we see? Yes, we can see everybody. Thank goodness. So why don't you guys tell us a little bit about what you guys are up to here this Saturday and beyond?
You want to kick it off, Wendy, or you want me to do it?
Oh, I can.
Why don't you? You're at the front of the class. You go.
Yeah.
And you always have
Well,
a pretty necklace.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, Alliance Coven was originally founded because we were in a different group, and a couple of our students that were interested were non-binary. And they were struggling with the standard Wiccan, binary aspect.
God, goddess must be this way.
Yes, God and Goddess
God
must be this
dig
way.
goddess, goddess must dig God.
Yes, exactly. And so I started researching a lot of the studies on magic and gender and the issues, that a lot of people who are trans or, LGBTQA in general have with Wiccanism and some of the stuff with it. And I was kind of like, I never really thought about some of these issues before. My privilege has really kept me from seeing some of this. And, there was a lot of resistance to, any kind of change or accommodating that, in the group we were in. So I talked to, Austin and Tina, and I was just kind of like, I really feel called to try to, accommodate some of these issues, to try to make a group in which that is celebrated and that is, respected and accommodated and all of that. And Austin and Tina were feeling very much the same. And so we, broke off and we formed Alliance Coven, which is, we're have done quite a few things to try to address some of the gender issues. One of the things that we do primarily is we have, I'm not sure what to call it, I guess a trinary. We have the Lord, the Lady, and then what we call the liminal, which is an aspect of deity, which is both all genders and neither.
Yep.
And so we call those three. I don't want to call it I don't know. There are some things that just kind of take me back to the Christian aspect. So I'm going with
word, is that what you're saying?
yeah. So I'm going with trinary. But we're also very open to exploring other, ways to look at deity. We have one of our current students who was very interested in looking at, the fifth element of spirit, instead of going with the Lord and the Lady. And so we have talked with her, and we're going to explore that as part of our class. And, I'm very open to looking at deity in all kinds of different ways. I'm very much looking forward to the class where we discuss deity, that's coming up, because I think that a lot of people have very different ways that they look at deity. And I'm very excited to explore that with our current students and any new students that, we have in the fall. So,
yeah, I mean, I get the historical, and by historical, I mean 20th century, importance of raising the feminine into godhood, given the background of most of the people, at least in the US, who have come over to some form of paganism, because it's all God, 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 God. And yeah, there's some chicks, but God, 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 God. It's all masculine. I get that. I really do. But at the end of the day, those are both constructs, at least in my mind. And they're constructs for our convenience. But so what's behind those, I think, becomes the question. And when you get to what's behind those, I think you find more freedom to abandon some of the rules. None of them are rules. None of them are rules. They're habits, I think.
Yeah.
And nothing more. But
I think that's one of the things that can happen in any spiritual path, any group, any way of life, is if things aren't examined and looked at, then the things that are put there as touchstones to provide access then become seen as much more fundamental than, in my view, they really actually are.
I'd agree.
And that can cause issues. The fascinating thing about this process for me in looking at things, I always thought of myself in a certain way in terms of gender, in a certain way in terms of my sexuality, in a certain way in terms of a lot of things, because without even realizing it, those are the boxes that were available to me. And is that a privilege? You bet. However, it comes at a price.
Yeah.
And once these conversations started, and I started actually looking at some of these things, there was never a point in time in which I said, I have to change. There was a point in time I started to say, that box doesn't fit me so well.
Yeah.
And it wasn't part of formally identifying with any single community that I never did before. It was more a matter of looking at myself and saying, you know what? I really don't know about that so much. Oh, that never really worked for me. Or, oh, that great right never really grabbed me that way.
Yeah.
And then so a lot of it, I think, is just the permission to say, let's re-examine what we consider. And hey, all Wiccan groups are going to do it their way.
Yes.
So we're certainly not sitting here and presenting it that this is the way, because that's kind of what we're trying to get away from, is to give ourselves and our students and Coven members the permission to ask those questions and say, hey, does this really fit for me? Is this really working for me? Or do I want to come at this another way? And then to be approachable as leaders so that people can have those conversations in a non-judgmental, and we can just say, okay, let's talk about that.
And when students say, this doesn't quite fit for me, we can be ones. Well, we know some people that you can go to. And we have those community connections. We're like, okay, this doesn't work for you. There's some amazing groups out there.
Yes.
Here, let me introduce you. That's where we would like to, if it doesn't fit for it, then they can move on to another place. And it's a very, very good exchange of energy that way. It's not like people feel, oh, I have to, I'm stuck here, or
no.
It shouldn't feel like a chore. Spirituality should never feel like a chore. It should
Yes.
feel natural and flow.
Yeah.
And when
Yeah.
it starts becoming like church, you kind of
It's wrong.
you need to kind of check
Yes.
and kind of step back and re-examine things.
I've been saying this since I was 20. Your religion should do two things for you. It should provide you with the challenge to become a better person, and it should bring you joy. And in my opinion, the correct split is about 10 to 90% joy.
Yeah.
If it's not doing those things, you're not in the right religion. Good gods, please explore. There's plenty of gods out there to check out.
I mean, I'm Wiccan. I love Wicca. Wicca is not the end all to be all. Covens are not the end all to be all. I mean, I think all of us, Wendy, Tina, and myself, we want to promote the attitude that ultimately we're providing an idea and a service to the community. We in turn are served, and we're not standing up here saying, oh, this is the way and you should all follow along. This is the path. You need to practice it this way. Because out of our personal experience, and I mean, I don't want to speak too much for you guys, but I'm done with it. And guess what? So is society. And so is the broader pagan community. They're done.
Yeah.
And it isn't just simply a matter, I think probably when I started it, started this process a few years ago, it was like, okay, we need to change with the times. And now it's more a matter of, I needed to change for my own sake. And it really didn't have that much to do with anybody else. I needed to change because if my spirituality doesn't change, what am I doing? Why am I here?
Well, I think it's really appropriate in that for me, and you all are welcome to disagree. And hi, by the way, out there. Y'all are welcome to disagree, but this isn't a path that has laity. This is a path that encourages, for the most part, that you take on that role of priesthood, which means you have to think about the theology. You have to consider where it's coming from, what it means, why it's there, and how relevant it is to your immediate practice. And if you're in a group, to the group's immediate practice. That idea of every group, I don't care how traditional, how eclectic, how connected they are with the community or with whatever community, the idea that they shouldn't have autonomy, I'm allergic to that I'm allergic to the idea that they should be beholden to somebody outside of the group. They're really not. I'm sorry. And I'm saying this is a real like hardcore traditional British traditional. I mean, I got my little path and I love my little path. Do I get into disagreements like the ones you guys are alluding to? Yes, I do. Do people think I'm heretical at times because I think they're full of hot air, to put it politely? Yes, I do. I'm good with that. Why? Because my group is autonomous. So is yours. So is everybody else's. Think for yourself. And I think that's one of the whole that's a driving force behind Wicca for me and witchcraft and paganism for me.
A lot of it really is skill building.
Yeah.
I mean, there are many things that
Yeah.
happen in the Wiccan practice, but a lot of it is skill building. A lot of it's personal. And in my personal view, a lot of it is Coven traditions are designed to get everyone on the same page more than they're designed to go,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you do this, because that just simply doesn't work. People don't do energy and personal transformation work where they have a bunch of stuff preloaded in their head and they're told to believe these things. And then they go to do a ritual that, in my experience, doesn't always click so well. And I've experienced that personally.
Yeah. And I think it's much more fun to experience the ritual without a lot of preamble and expectation, but without being told what it means. And then to be asked afterwards, before anybody else opens their mouth, what did that mean to you? Because as the person presenting the ritual, you might learn something you never thought of before. And that's amazing. And it values the person going through that experience for the first time.
That's why I love teaching, is because we're teaching them things, but they're all saying,
Yeah.
well, in my experience, I've had this. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. I've never heard of that before. So then we learn alongside our students, we just learn a new way to present information that just makes everything richer and more in-depth. And that's what I love so much about it.
Yeah, I think when you make that flip, you go from black and white ritual to full color.
Yeah.
You just do.
Well, years ago, I used to be an actual teacher, taught math. And some of the coolest math tricks I learned from students, because they would be like, well, previous teacher taught me this thing. And I'd be like, that is so neat. I've never thought of that. And so when I decided to leave education as a career field and go into another career field, I miss teaching so much. I mean, I miss just teaching. And so when I had the opportunity to become a teacher and help people, because I became Wiccan initially in Ohio. And at the time, there was not a lot of stuff going on there. There were no stores and there were no groups and anything like that I could find. And so I really struggled with becoming, a witch on my own. I had Scott Cunningham's Guide to the Solitary Practitioner and all of those things, but I love the idea that somebody can be coming new to this, spiritual path and want to ask questions, and we can be there to answer those questions.
Yeah.
That's just amazing to me. I love it so much.
To have that conversation, I think, is the growth experience for everybody involved.
Right.
I love that.
We've seen amazing things with people growing and developing personally, magically, spiritually, and they're doing the work.
Yeah.
All we're doing is showing some skills and pointing some ideas, and then people run with it in ways you cannot imagine. In 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
Well, I'll look back after a couple of years, and all I did was say some things, and I'll look at them, and I'll just be like, "Wow, wow!" And then I think back to when it happened to me too. It's been a while. I was like, "Oh yeah, that happened to me once upon a time." You were a little farther along than I was at.
So this is one of the reasons, in my groups, if you write a paper that you turn in,
Mhm.
it goes in a file with your name on it, because when you're done with all the formal training,
Mhm.
we hand it back to you so you can see and have that diary basically of how you grew. And that's amazing.
That's a cool idea.
Especially since we start with papers of like, do you do research? No, this is to get your opinions on things. This is not, do not look this up kind of papers. And then gradually goes into, okay, now I need you to, pick a divination method. Thank you for picking one. Next level, please start learning the divination method. So you start to learn and research and do things, but the first papers are strictly, what do you think that means? Why is that there? And there's no wrong answer, which is the beauty of that kind of work.
Right.
It's just documenting where you're at so that, 3 years later, 5 years later, whatever it is, in one case, you know who you are 20 years later. You finish the formal training. You get to see where you've been. And it's just so much fun. So I'm getting the idea that part of your philosophy is inclusion.
Yes.
I am getting the idea that part of your philosophy has to do with exploration. What else am I missing?
Well, we have 10 guiding principles. We have a website,
Okay.
www.alliancecoven.org, right, Wendy?
Yeah.
And you can read about us there.
Yes, we have like 10 founding principles that we base, all of our structure and decisions on, and it just, they have to do not only with inclusion, but, doing the things that, as pagans, taking care of our world, understanding how we connect to the divine, things like that. And it's just, we, Tina actually wrote the 10 principles, and they just came to her one day and she just wrote them out, and they were
after one cup of coffee.
they were so amazing. And so those are on our website. There's also like a contact form if you want to contact us and just get to meet us, get to know us, and stuff like that. We'd be happy to meet up with you and go out to coffee and just discuss your spiritual path and what you're looking for and anything like that. So, just feel free to check out our website and drop a line to us, and, we'll set up something where we can meet you and just discuss, more what you're looking to find out of this,
This crazy world.
this crazy world. Yeah.
That sounds perfect to me. So yeah, come check them out. Come say hi. We'd love to see you. They'd love to meet you. And we're just going to keep trucking with giving people more and more options. We've got 2 training-ish groups right now. These are, by the way, not even by donation. These are totally free. And there'll be a 3rd one starting up next month. They're a hybrid. They're online, and they're going to meet here regularly. And their first meetup here will be in February. I think it's on the 21st, which is a Saturday. So come and explore. Because in case you didn't get the impression, I'm going to give you my standard advice for finding a group if that's what you're interested in. Set aside a specific number of months, meet as many groups as you can, because we're all crazy, and you have to find the flavor of crazy that fits you.
Yes.
It's, a lot of these groups have a lot of overlaps in what they actually offer, in my experience. You go to their rituals and you're like, okay, yeah, this is really familiar because I've been doing this a while in another track. In another tradition, but it's 90% the same. I'm not going to lie. So if this general thing fits you, find your crazy people.
I think a lot of it's about fit.
Yeah.
And the right kind of crazy people
Yeah.
is a fit. And the beautiful thing is there's lots of group outs out there. So it's perfectly fine. People say, you know what? You seem like nice people, but not my cup of tea. But these folks over there, that's my type of crazy.
Go, set aside. I usually tell people set aside a year. Go visit everybody you can visit. And if you're here in the Twin Cities in Minnesota, there is a pagan pride that you can come to, and those are all over the country. If there's one near you, check them out. A lot of groups send representatives, not all, but a lot. And here we also have Paganicon, which is another really big event here in the Twin Cities. And I don't know if you guys still do it. Do you still do the room where here are a whole bunch of people who offer training from different groups, and they go round robin and go, yep, me too.
The party suites. Yeah, we have party suites, and Alliance Coven will have a party suite at Paganicon this year. So, if you want to meet us, that's a really good way to do it. And I don't know if you knew, but one of our guests of honor is Roger.
Yes, believe me, I know. Believe me. He takes me out to coffee once a week, and I know. I know the good parts. I know the painful parts. I know all of it. And a lot of the painful parts is, I have to do 3? What am I gonna? Oh. So there is a possibility that I will be joining him for the second half of one of them.
Oh, okay.
So he doesn't have to work quite as hard on that one. So there are 2 of us up there to banter about the subject.
Yeah.
So I might be an unofficial.
Yeah. And when I say we, I'm wearing my other hat because I'm also the director of operations of Twin Cities Pagan Pride that puts on Paganicon. So yeah. So just in case I was confusing to anyone, Alliance Coven is not putting on Paganicon, but in my role as working for Twin Cities Pagan Pride, we put on Paganicon, and I'm really excited that Roger is going to be a guest of honor.
Are you kidding me? He put off his annual winter trip for
Yes, I heard about that.
Big honor, yes.
He normally leaves, but he said he would stay for us.
And if you are brand new in the Twin Cities and you want to get a flavor of the Twin Cities pagan community, you want to meet people, you want to press the flesh, you like a hotel con 3-day event, TwinCitiesPaganPride.org, check it out. A lot of people get involved in the community.
Yeah.
You meet a lot of people, and if you're new, you will meet a lot of people, boy.
It is always fun. It's just always a good time. We'll be there in the vending room. I will be there probably with my high schooler as my assistant, which means he's going to be feral at the event until I text him and say, bring me food and drink, and I need a bathroom break. Otherwise, he's not going to be behind the table. You're not going to see him there. But he started doing this with me about a year ago, starting with, I think it was Convergence. And I think he spent an hour and a half talking with an elderly gay couple about a television show that they got to see when it came out, that he has seen online, all the way down to playing tag with kids his own age. So I'm warning you now, there will be a feral child.
Feral child.
Roaming the halls, getting into trouble. He even, because it was a dealer badge, had an adult's badge.
Oh,
They didn't ask the age at that event, so he had a grown-up badge. So he, one, had to get proof that he was allowed in the teenager room, which was hilarious, and two, had to tell people that no, he's not going into the alcohol rooms. So just word to the wise also, if that has also been your policy at his gathering, I'm going to say maybe check the ages of the people helping the vendors.
It's a good idea.
Just word to the wise. You're reminding me, though, I have to get that a second ticket for my assistant. Thank you for the email. Meanwhile, we've run over, as always. So I hope you guys have a fabulous week. There will be no herb post because I won't be here tomorrow on January 1st. I know it's a shocker, but I won't be here tomorrow. But you'll be able to catch the short videos for the Stoned on Friday about rocks, and you'll be able to catch the palmistry one on Divine Saturday. Those are canned and they are scheduled and ready to go out. And I will see you all again live on Sunday for Divine. Is it Divine Sunday? Yes. No, it's Divine Saturday. What do we do on Sundays? I don't remember. Oh, energy work. We do energy work on Sundays. It will be fun.
Recovering from a life divine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Meanwhile, blessed be and have an outstanding new year.